Hey there. Hopefully you know by now I'm John Powell, principal agent for the Powell Agency. I'm probably the face that you see the least, but I've been asked to do a quick video for you about some of the ways that we help our clients. So as one of the best agencies, according to Big D Magazine, which is according to you guys and our neighbors and our friends, we don't just work with folks on home, auto, and umbrella. We work with helping folks protect one of their biggest assets, which of course is them and their contributions to their families. So before you end this video, bear with me, all right? There's a lot of important stuff that I want to share with you here. So you can always go to our public site, powellagancynTX.com, so www.thepowellagancynTX.com, which is a mouthful, but you should also be able to go to tpantx.com, which is a nice abbreviated, and boom, there we go, right? So just like our email address, john@tpantx.com, and Katie and Jill and Ebony. But when you go in there, you have insurance solutions and then personal insurance solutions. And if you go see all, then you can end up in this beautiful individual life insurance thing here. And the great part is we have all these really cool infographics, right? It talks about what's the risk. Well, hey, mortgage payments being one of those risks, right? If we have a mortgage and we have a family, then that is a risk. So there's a bunch of fun that I'm going to leave you. I'm not going to bore you to death by being a book narrator, but I did want to go over a couple of things. One of those letting you know that this exists so that you can view it at your leisure. What I really wanted to go over was, does life insurance, and questions that most people ask Google, right? So instead of going onto the interwebs and onto Google, I wanted to spend a couple of minutes just going over some of these because, frankly, it's the end of the year. It's a great time to look at life insurance for multiple reasons, but one of the biggest ones is making sure that our families are taken care of. God forbid something happens to us here. So does life insurance get taxed? Well, some of that depends on whether or not you have enough to qualify or be penalized by the estate tax. But as a general rule of thumb, life insurance grows tax-free. You can borrow from it tax-free, and then it passes tax-free. If you have a permanent policy, if you have a term policy, it passes tax-free. Looks like a lot. I'm really surprised. I didn't do this before starting the video. I'm really surprised about how many questions there are around suicide, but I'll address it. If it's something that's on people's minds, my job is to answer the question. So typically with life insurance policies, the answer is yes. Life insurance will cover loss of a loved one due to suicide. Now, there's a couple of caveats around that. Typically, the life insurance policy has to be enforced for greater than 2 years. That does vary state by state. So there are a couple of states that say it doesn't matter how long you've had your life insurance policies. Some states say that you have to have your life insurance policy for other 2 years. That is a regulated thing. Does life insurance go through probate? No. The beautiful thing about life insurance is that you're able to name beneficiaries. So whoever you name as that beneficiary is going to get that check. And that is a wonderful thing to help through the transition of life insurance and make sure that everyone's taken care of because it doesn't go through that whole process of probate in there. And does life insurance cover accidental death? The question there being, yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, we don't call it a plan accident. Life insurance is the one policy that is guaranteed to pay out a benefit if we keep it throughout life because death and taxes are 100% a part of life as we know it. But accidental death, that's, really what it is there for is the accidents of life. So now that we've gone through Google, the last thing I wanted to share with you really briefly, and if you know my videos, they usually last about 20 minutes. This one's only going to be about 4. So I like to use this example for most folks because I think it's a pretty average example of our clients, right? So if we have a 34-year-old male and is a non-nicotine user and wants $240,000 worth of life insurance for their family, if we did a 10-year term policy, that monthly premium could be anywhere between $20.05 a month and $22.45 a month. So it is mind-blowing how inexpensive life insurance is. The last time I went to Starbucks, I think I got 2 cups of coffee for like $13.50 or somewhere around there, right? So we're talking about $6.25 a cup, somewhere in that neighborhood there. So we're talking about less than 4 cups of coffee, less than a cup of coffee a week, and we can have life insurance for 10 years. If we wanted that term and that rate locked in for 20 years, then it could be $33.65 to $35.05. And if we wanted it locked in for 30 years, then it'd be $48.65 and $52.45 a month. So look at that. We can go all the way to age 64, go through a majority of our working life and be properly protected for no more than $52.45 a month, subject to underwriting. But that said, I really do want our clients to understand how important life insurance is for everyone. And the reason I use this number is this is a 34-year-old male, what they'll most likely get at work, right? So if we're lucky and we work for a company that has a term life insurance component to our benefits package, usually it's 3 times someone's annual salary. So if somebody's making $80,000 a year, that's $240,000 in life insurance. So again, don't want to drag this out any longer than need be. Just want to get this into your hands so that you can see, hey, you know what? How inexpensive can it be to own my own life insurance? We've had folks who need life insurance because they've gone to workplaces that don't offer life insurance like their last employer did. We've had people that have worked for the same employers but have gone from one project to the next project. So same employer, right? Project manager, same employer, just changed contracts. And the contract that they were on didn't offer the life insurance benefit that the prior contract they were on did. So there are so many different ways. AT&T a couple of years ago used to offer life insurance for retirees for life, and then they came out and said that they were no longer doing that. And there's a big hubbub in a lot of newspapers here in Dallas because those are folks that were in their 80s that thought that they're going to have life insurance for the rest of their life as part of their benefits package, and they didn't. So again, owning your own life insurance is really, really important. The last thing I'll say is that if you look at the 10-year term, the 20-year term, and the 30-year term, that's how long your rate is locked in for. So with this policy, it's a convertible policy. So even after 10 years, you will still have your life insurance. It's just going to go to what's called an annually renewable term. So each year, the premium is going to go up to correspond with your age. So that's if you keep it as a term policy. But you also have the ability to convert this policy. So if you say right now, based on budget, based on need, I just need something to help my family. I need something to help with the mortgage. There's a simple calculation for life insurance, and it's life. I just want to pay off my liabilities. I want to replace my income. I want to help my family with paying for the final expenses, and I want to take care of my kids' educational costs. God forbid something happens. So that's LIFE. That's a really simple way to figure out how much life insurance you need, and that's all I want. I just want a term policy to take care of that. But as life goes on and we start looking at the fact that we can put money into life insurance policies that can grow tax-free and can borrow tax-free, this can convert into a permanent policy. If we say, hey, I want to make sure that I have life insurance no matter what throughout the duration of my life, this can convert to a permanent policy. So there's a lot of benefit and a lot of value to life insurance, and I'd love to have that conversation with you. I hope this gave you just enough to be interested in it instead of being worried about talking about it. Hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for allowing us to protect you, your family, and everything that you work so hard for. Bye.